Hello, everyone.
Hello.
So you have seen our entire series on how we started our plants, our seeds from indoors in about January, February, all the way up until we transplant them into our raised garden beds. Now, we did this in the small suburb. We're gonna use the same techniques, but here for the first year on our 10-acre property. So everything will be on a larger scale. And today we're just gonna walk you through the kind of things we wanna plant. The eventual goal that we actually want is to grow most of the food that we eat.
We have our seed collection here, and we're gonna walk you through some of the seeds we wanna plant. We'll also show you downstairs in our grow room what we've already been growing for the last few weeks.
That's right. So we'll do this by category. We have in our beans section, various amounts of beans. We love beans, it grows fast. It's a strong plant. You got yellow ones, you got green ones.
Yeah, we have snap peas in here too. This is a purple sugar snap pea.
So yes, right now we have 1 billion seeds and they are all put in different categories and spread out through our table. Usually they are just stuffed into a box and kept into a nice, cool and dry environment. I think we need to be a little more organized in this. We have grown to this level of expertise. We probably need a seed organizer or something like that.
Yeah, last year we had like half as many seeds. So I think it's time we get a seed organizer soon.
Not just that, I'm actually gonna get a book and actually start keeping a record of what we have so we know what to restock on and what not to restock on because we have plenty of, so.
One of them we did grow last year and we absolutely loved it. I'll be walking through the camera. This is snow peas and we grew it last year. We really loved it. And although they don't last super long, they're really easy to grow. Like we didn't have any issues with them and they're just really fun because you can eat them pretty much right off the plant.
Yeah. Category 1, tomato. In our tomato series we did last year, we had a whole bunch of varieties and that's the way we like it. We like a very diverse crop of tomatoes. We have this year a lot of the small cherry types, various kinds.
Yeah, because we live in a northern climate, some of the large tomato varieties just take a really long time to get to full size and we end up with not that many before we hit our next frost date. So by growing the small cherry varieties or the currant varieties, we're able to get a lot more tomatoes in our short growing season.
That's right. And actually, when we did our tasting video, we actually found that these small cherry tomatoes actually taste better. It's good. Plus, we make tomato bisque. You can make them just as easily with small cherry tomatoes. Like she said, we have a larger volume of that fruit when it comes out.
Yeah, we can link down below our taste testing video. It was pretty funny. We also taste tested some hot peppers, which, made us laugh. So you can check that out in the link below. And yeah, we'll link as well our full tomato and pepper starting series.
All right.
Here's one tomato I wanted to talk about from the tomato category. It's the yellow pear-shaped tomato. We've never actually grown this variety before, but I'm really excited about it. It's tiny, pear-shaped, and yellow, so it's quite unique. It's also an heirloom variety.
Yeah, there's a lot of experimentation that will happen because we have that much more space to do. This will be our first year here and we'll see how things go and learn as we progress, right? Sunrise bumblebee. No idea what this tastes like. Don't know how it grows. We'll see.
Alrighty, let's move on to another category. So here we have our peppers. We have both sweet and hot peppers in this category. Last year, we grew the California Wonder bell pepper. That's a really popular variety.
We had one type of pepper.
And we had one hot pepper, which was the hot serrano pepper. This year, I managed to get a yellow version of the California Wonder as well, because typically it's a green and red variety. And so I'm excited to grow yellow ones as well. I think that will really beautify the garden too.
Just more colors.
And we also got a completely new hot pepper variety called the Hungarian Yellow Wax. So I'm keen to see as well what this one might be like and how hot it is.
All right. Next category, of course, to our bread and butter, our leafy greens, okay? This is always the very basics. So lettuce, kale, arugula. Arugula.
That's a flower. That should not be in that category.
We're not that organized with our seeds yet, are we?
Yeah, we need to organize these seeds better, but this is the Sweet William flower, which I got just because it's gorgeous looking. We haven't grown it yet, but we'll check that out.
But very basic leafy greens in this climate. They're very cold hardy. You start them early. It's great. They last long. And when you finish plucking them or they bolt, you just re-sow them.
Yeah, we have the classics in here, like the lettuce and stuff, but we also have unique varieties like bok choy, which is a bit different. We like different colors of kale and lettuce too. So, and some mixed green packets that have mixed seeds of different leafy greens. So yeah, it's worth trying a few different ones so you can make your leafy greens a bit more diverse.
And we're excited to show you how we're gonna fit all this. Essentially, I'm gonna use some of the old cedar posts that are left over on this property. And I'm gonna make raised garden beds kind of like a log cabin style. And we'll see how big we can make of space with that and how many beds we can make and what can actually fit in there. This is our first year trying to see how everything will...
Yeah, we're really excited to show you guys how we make the raised garden beds from the cedar post. It's gonna be a really big raised bed garden.
Oh yeah. All right, another category is corn. We really enjoyed doing corn last year. Now we got a lot of space. I just want to do more corn. I think it actually looks really cool. Very farmy too for the theme. We've got 2 different kinds here. They're both sweet kinds, Blue Jade and Toscana.
Yeah, Toscana.
And basically the only difference between these that I'm reading, they grow the exact same way. The color is different. That's it.
We did grow corn in our suburban property last year. We didn't have a huge harvest because we didn't grow it in a square. So if you are growing corn, make sure you grow it in a large square. You'll get a lot more pollination between the corn that way and a lot more corn.
Yeah, something we didn't know. Now we do.
I'm going to talk about some radishes. So we have a lot of different radishes here. I'll just highlight 2 of them that I think are interesting. One is the watermelon radish. This is a really big radish and it's quite beautiful. We didn't have a huge amount of success growing it last year in our suburban home. So I'm hoping this time around will be better. And here we have a Rax radish. This will be our first year growing this one. What I like about it is it says that it reduces, it resists pithiness and it's less likely to split than other types of radishes. So it's more likely that we can harvest it over a longer period of time. It'll still taste really yummy.
I love it. I love the taste of this, and it grows very quickly and very early in the season.
That's true. It's really satisfying. Like you plant it and a month later, you're eating your radishes.
Did we not make a video actually where we actually pickle those?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, I'll link that in the description below. We made a video all about, well, the video wasn't only about that, but there was a part of one video where we showed how we pickle radishes. So if that interests you, we'll link it down below.
What do you got there?
We got some squashes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so obviously we had some of the classics, like the butternut squash and the spaghetti squash. These are our favorites to buy at the grocery store. We eat them all the time, so of course we had to grow them. But we also picked up some unique varieties that I'm excited to try this year. Here we have the golden scallopini summer squash. So that looks pretty unique and different.
Pretty weird.
It's got a cool wavy shape to it. What's different between a summer squash and a winter squash is the summer squashes don't store very well. So you want to eat them fairly soon after harvesting. The winter squashes though can store for a long time over winter. So you grow them over the summer, but they just have different storage.
That's right. Yeah, we got a squash right over there that's been there all summer.
And the last one I want to talk about was the pumpkin squash. This is a very classic Halloween pumpkin. So if we can grow this well, we won't have to buy any.
That's right.
Come Halloween.
Moving on, carrots, another root vegetable that we love, but this time we have different varieties. We didn't always have very good success with carrots. I'm just hoping that now we have more sun and access to the elements for that. So, witch fingers, different colors. Basic carrots, but these ones come Dulciva and Carudo Chantenay.
Ooh, a fancy sounding. Carudo Chantenay.
Still working on pronunciation of vegetables.
If you've seen our other videos, you know this has been a theme. Yeah, this one's cool. Purple, red, and yellow, and orange.
That's right.
That's awesome.
We'll keep you up to date how our success rate is with those this year.
Yeah, this is one we really need to still figure out. We've struggled with our carrots. I'm going to cover another root vegetable now, beets. So we only have 3 varieties, so I might as well just go through all 3 of them. We have the classic Detroit dark red. This is the one we grew last year. Super classic, fan favorite. Love this one. Another similar one, not too dissimilar from that one, the beet green top bunching beet. Again, typical beet, not that fancy, but it is considered an excellent beet variety for all sorts of things like pickling and dicing and freezing. And last but not least, we have the, I'm gonna say this right, Cylindra forminova.
It's a carrot looking beet.
Yeah, looks like a carrot. So this is kind of a unique variety. This one I'm excited about. And again, it says it's great, not only for the beet part, but the greens as well can be used for salads. So yeah, we love our beets. We have a video actually where we make borscht soup, Polish beet soup. I'll link it down below with the beets we grew last year. So if that interests you, you can check that out below.
I love borscht, looking forward to it. Another category, I put this into fruit categories because we got space for it now. We're gonna try things like cantaloupe, melon, watermelon, spinach strawberry, and Alexandria strawberry again.
Oh yeah, we grew the Alexandria strawberry as part of our herb starting series. We'll link that down below if you want to see more about that. It's
started in the hydroponic system right here.
And in the soil. It works, both work well, I think.
Very well.
But yeah, it's like a baby. It's like a mini strawberry, size of a raspberry.
We actually still have outside covered in snow these strawberries we transplanted into pots and we brought here on our farm. And we'll actually see how perennial they really are.
Yeah, we'll see if they survive our climate. This is interesting, the spinach strawberry. It looks like a berry actually, and the leaves can also be eaten, which is interesting. Yeah, this is like a mulberry-like fruit that is edible. This is cool, I can't wait to grow this one.
Moving on, another category is a cucumber. We like cucumbers, maybe turn them into pickles. We'll see that there's a cool variety in here called the dragon egg.
Ooh, I'm excited to grow that one.
That's right, cucumber, but in a melon type shape. So, see how that turns out.
And I have here what can only be described as the other green stuff category with no other home. So yeah, here we have broccoli. For some reason, we did not know where else to put this. Celery and okra. Okra is really yummy vegetable, great for adding to soups, stir fries. I'm excited to grow this one.
Guess we might as well do the last category.
Onions.
Onions.
These ones we actually have downstairs in our grow room, so we will show you how they're growing. We started them a few weeks ago.
Our onions turned out very good for the 3 years that we planted them in our garden back in the suburbs. So.
Yeah, it's one of the easiest things to grow. If you haven't tried growing your own onions, it's worth doing it. They're really hardy and easy, and they can actually protect your other plants from pests and stuff too.
That's right.
For some reason, we got all Spanish varieties of onions. I'm not sure why, but we have the Elsa Craig onion, the sweet Spanish Utah onion, a yellow onion, and the white sweet Spanish onion. So I guess the Spains are really known for their onions and just some bunching onions for green onions.
Last but not least, ground cherry. We didn't know where to put this. Is it a tomato? Is it a cherry?
I guess we should have gone with our strawberry category.
Yeah.
This will be our first year growing this. I'm interested because it's a cherry that grows like it's a little bush on the ground, so it'll be a bit different. I've heard mixed things though in terms of the taste. Some people like the taste, some people don't like it. So we'll just grow for the first time and see what happens.
We have lots of time, lots of place for experiments.
Now let's take you downstairs to our grow room where we can show you all that we've been sprouting and growing the last few weeks.
That's right. Hi, welcome to the basement. This is our grow room, a room we've dedicated for the sole purpose of just growing our plants. It's a lot easier to control, clean, all our equipment's together, waterproof flooring, good ventilation. Let's get going. So we've taken that whole system we had from our suburbs, we brought it here to our farm, and we're starting it on our grow shelf. We have the same lights that we had last year all placed up. Like last year, started early in February, planting all our herbs. Let's get going with Julia on where we're at.
Hello again. So I'm going to quickly touch on some of the herbs that we've started. Let's talk about basil. We're growing 3 types of basil in here. This is sort of the classic Genovese basil. We have a bunch of these here on this tray. And we also are growing a lime basil. It looks pretty much the same as the Genovese basil, but it should have more of a citrusy taste once we begin harvesting it. And finally, we're growing a dark red Reuben basil. So I'll show you some B-roll of this one. They're still little, they're still in the seed starting tray. But this I'm excited about. It's a rich, dark basil, purple basil, and it's just really, really pretty and different. And I think it'll have a different flavor as well. The other herbs we're growing on this grow shelf are all the same ones we started in our herb starting series last year. So we have things like cilantro, sage, mint, peppermint, lemongrass, marjoram, star anise. Not all of them have come up yet, but you can see here in this B-roll some of the ones that are already up. Our sage in particular is looking, many have come up. Our mint as well, our marjoram. We also have kind of the classics, the thyme, the oregano, the parsley, fennel, and dill. So yeah, everything's coming up really, really well, and we're big fans of herbs. So we like to use them in all of our cooking, and so it's something that we always remember to grow every single year.
Something else we're trying for the first time, microgreens. The concept where you bundle different kinds of little greens together in a very clustered patch. And we're just about to trim off the top, and we use that as little garnishings. It's very healthy, apparently, and tastes really good. This consists of watermelon radish, wax radish, mesclun, 2 rows of mesclun, arugula, broccoli, beet green, beet cilantro, and cherry bell radish. We're collecting it for the greens growing on top. So it's about the quantity and volume of that. And there's no difference at all between this and a regular radish. This is just a baby version of this. Okay, bringing you through this tray. Last year we had absolutely no success with rosemary. probably because the seed company we got it from, a lot of them were defective and weren't working. This year, we have great success. We have all 6 plants growing very well. Also in this other tray, I won't talk too much. We already talked to you about onions, but all this is onions and anise hyssop in this line and lavender throughout the other 3 rows. All starting great. If you like this video, check out this next one where we show how you can set up your own grow room, the do's and the don'ts.